Greetings from Salty Bitten Adventures. I'm Mackenzie, and this is Hannon. Join us on our year-long adventure as we cruise America's Great Loop on our Ranger Tug. But let's not forget the main passenger on this journey, our German Shepherd, Loki. This time last year, we were in the middle of thru-hiking the Continental Divide Trail. Halfway through the trail, we bought a boat. As we transition from foot power to horsepower, follow along as we stumble our way through boat life. The Great Loop is a 6,000-mile inland waterway route that circumnavigates the eastern half of the United States. Last year, roughly 200 boats successfully completed this journey. All right, well, we're getting ready to start the Great Loop in the next week. We figured we'd answer some questions, kind of reoccurring questions that we keep getting asked from friends and family, and we do it on video here. So the first one being, why are we deciding to do the Great Loop? What about from your point of view?
It's something I've known about for a while and have thought about doing for the last decade. I feel like it's a grand adventure, a way to see the eastern half of the United States slowly, which I think is the preferred way. And the timing was right. I think we've met a lot of older folks who, waited later in life to try to do things that they had planned, and at some point they perhaps weren't able to do them. And so we wanted to do things like this when we were younger. We have the opportunity to do it. And so we wanted to do that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't heard of the Great Loop until I met you. And what's kind of neat about it is that my hometown, Manistee, Michigan, is right on the path. We've had loopers parked here in the harbor in the channel for the last month and a half, which has been pretty cool to see because, they're in the middle of it and we're just getting ready to get started. For me also, just learning a new skill. Hannon's been around boats for most of his adult life. I really haven't. I grew up on the water near, in Manistee, but we owned a boat, but I was young. I wasn't ever driving it, but now I'm learning a new skill. I'm driving it. I'm docking it, taking it out into the wee hours of the morning when we go salmon fishing. So to explore our country, learn a new skill in the process, meet new folks along the way. It's a really appealing adventure, and it's long. It's going to take work and dedication to do the whole roughly 6,000 miles that the loop encompasses. And I'm pretty excited. It's going to take us, we think, about 11 months. We're starting in the next week. It's really exciting. Yeah. You got anything else on that topic? All right. Well, why do we choose a Ranger tug?
So I think at the end of the day, for us, it was the most bang for the buck regarding money. Now, I don't know that money was the leading reason. Because I think we could have purchased a larger used boat for about the same amount of money. But this is a boat we knew we could live on. The timing, I think, worked well for that as well. So, this time last year, we were in the middle of our thru hike of the Continental Divide Trail, and we were in southern Wyoming, just getting ready to cross into Colorado, and life was hard. So to be able to, even though this is a very small boat for the loop, but to us, compared to that experience, it's full of amenities that we didn't have for 5 months. It's very livable from our perspective. And we also didn't just buy the boat to do the Great Loop, right? So we wanted to be able to fish out of it. And we wanted to be able to trailer it and take it to different places. We assume that this is not the only trip that we'll do. And for those reasons, it was a good fit.
The little one.
Yeah, kind of feels like a little tiny palace.
That's dinner right there.
And really one of the other super appealing features of it is the 350 horsepower outboard Yamaha motor. We can escape the weather if we have to. The top end speed for the boat is 44 miles an hour. We cruise between 28 and 30 miles an hour. That's at about 4,700 to 5,000 RPM. So, but we can also take our time, to help increase fuel economy. with the fuel. So with the fact that we have the flexibility because of the speed, and also our previous life experiences where kind of used to smaller spaces, with the fact that we can go inside in a thunderstorm and not get wet and not be crowded. We have a stove, we have a refrigerator, a microwave, we have a bathroom. I mean, the toilet's just fabulous. So to not have to go outside and pee in the woods is wonderful. But it was just a really good adventure boat. You know, to be able to fish out of it, to be able to take it to the Pacific Northwest. You know, we bought the trailer, but then also to do the Great Loop, to have this awesome 1 year long memorable life experience, but still to continue using the boat when we finish was all just really appealing in general. You got anything else to add regarding that? Okay. What else do you want to talk about?
Folks have asked us how we got ready for the loop. We did 3 prep trips, each about a week long. We bought the boat down in Pensacola in February and got about a week's worth of training, which was great. And then we moved by water from Pensacola to Louisiana, and had some little bit of a rough water passage through Mobile Bay, and got to stop at several places along the way. And then once we got it, we trailered it to Michigan after fishing in Louisiana for a while.
That was a 2-day event going from
Yeah.
Louisiana up to Michigan.
Yeah.
It was good. Significant movement.
It was good though. Once we got up here, we did a week-long trip from Manistee up to one of the northern islands in Michigan, Beaver Island, and we stopped by a bunch of places on the way back: Boyne City, Charlevoix, Leland, and that I think allowed us to refine how we wanted to set the boat up for a year-long adventure. And then finally we did a trip up to the Upper Peninsula a couple of weeks ago, and we brought our dog Loki with us. So he'd been on the boat a couple times, but not for an extended period of time. So we wanted to work out, it was like his shakedown, work out how comfortable he was getting on and off the boat and using the dinghy to get to shore and stuff like that. So I think those 3 trips probably were important, and I have no major concerns taking off next week based on the prep trips that we did.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, really understanding the dinghy operations that was really important, because we would like to go on the hook, anchor out a lot, but we need to be able to make sure that we can get our dog ashore when he needs to go to the bathroom, in the morning and in the evening time frame. So we store our dinghy right up top. It's actually on top of the cockpit. That is structure. So both of our week-long trips when we were here in Michigan, we had the Tacky Cat inflated and up there, and it rode beautifully. So we're very excited about that. The Tacky Cat dinghy is a little lighter weight compared to other dinghies. It's about 66 pounds. So Hannah and I just kind of muscle it up and put it up top, and then just slide it right off the back, and it pops right in the water, and Loki hops right on. So I think the fact that all tested out really well is a huge relief, because we are bringing our dog Loki on this 11th month to 12-month journey. And we're really excited about that he gets to join us for this adventure. But anything else? So this is our Ranger Tug R27. It is a 2025 model. The big change with this model is it's equipped with a 350 horsepower outboard Yamaha engine. That's 50 horsepower more than the previous year's models. This model also came equipped with Scotty downrigger pads and plugs. So we did outfit it with the downriggers. We've been doing a lot of salmon fishing this summer. It's been an awesome time. As you can see, our planer boards and our tackle out there. We have added additional rod holders. The boat only comes with 2. So we've added an additional 6. So we have 8 total. And our downriggers also have 2 technically. There's our German Shepherd flag flying proudly. There's our AGLCA, America's Great Loop Cruising Association Burgee. It's wrapped up. We won't officially don it until we start. The Salty Mitten does hail from Old Fort, North Carolina. That is where our physical house is. I, however, am from Manistee, Michigan, which is where we are right now. All right, we'll go ahead and come on board. The cockpit area is really quite nice. It's quite spacious. We have double seating here, double seating there. We just got all of our fishing tackle and stuff in the way right now. This window right here actually opens up. You can push the bolster back. You have outside seating. Additional storage in that cabinet right there. That can be an additional refrigerator, but we elected to do additional storage because we put fishing tackle there. We've got a stove. There's our tactical crock pot. Works awesome. And 2 burners as well. We keep all of our spices in the racks above. Got our sink. Have additional storage there. The area underneath the sink we use as our pantry. And then this seat right here actually flips forward. So our drying mat. So when we're cooking, just take this cutting board off, set it right there. Then we have full countertop space to do prep work, cooking, cleaning, and then drying. Here's our refrigerator. It's actually pretty deep, fits quite a bit of stuff in there. We have a microwave. And this is the bistro seating for inside eating. Got more tackle. So our flashers and all of our spoons. And then this area, which is called the cave, I like to call it the den, is where Loki's going to be sleeping. Additional storage underneath, some windows. That's his little dog bed. And then what you do here is just flip this forward, or really back, and this is the helm. Go ahead and put this back. It's a beautiful day out. It's a little chilly. All the salmon fishermen are out today. All right, and then as we head down here into the berth, we have a closet. This is our little bed with our Great Lakes blanket. There's storage all underneath the bed. It's a little bit of a pain, but it does work well. The TV, we equipped it with a Roku. And here's our head. It is a wet head, but we do have a shower that we use every once in a while. But when we're at marinas, we typically use the marina showers. That's it, really. We've added additional little hooks to store things like hats and coats. Got our galley runner right there. That's really to help Loki have traction and to protect the floor. But it's plenty of space. The speaker system on the boat is very nice also. It's dual zoned, so you have zone 1, which is in the interior, and then you have zone 2, which is the exterior, and you can manipulate it based on how you want your volume controlled. And then because we have an outboard engine, this area right down here, which would have in the past been the engine room, and is in the case for some of the larger models, is all storage. We call it the basement. So we got storage there, over there, and over there as well. But that's the boat. Our prep trips for the Great Loop proved to be invaluable. We successfully deployed our dinghy, which we store inflated on the top of our cockpit. Loki has had no issues jumping from the swim platform to the dinghy when we need to take him to shore. Although unpredictable at times, the waters of the Great Lakes are stunning, and were the perfect playground for our pre-loop cruising. With less than 2 weeks left before we start our journey south to Chicago, we enter into the final stretch of prepping the boat for our departure.